Hi, I'm one moron. And who are you?
I guess I'm the second moron. Where's the porch?
The porch, I know. We're supposed to be on a porch. This is a porch that feels like a sofa.
The original title was Two Morons on a Porch, but I deleted the on a porch because it makes sense.
Two morons on a sofa.
And it's too cold outside today, and I'm still recovering from
They
illness.
canceled that festival in today.
Well, I think it was supposed to be on a porch, but we can't be on a porch because it's raining and stuff.
Yeah, and both morons.
It's too cold.
Yeah, both morons had COVID. This moron was not as bad. That moron was extraordinarily sick. And probably still sick.
A little bit. I don't think it's from COVID anymore. I think it's just from like getting pneumonia.
Yeah, that's all. Just pneumonia.
Yeah, that's it.
What did
No
the cameraman calls it? Pneumonia? COVID. What was your name, cameraman? COVID pneumonia? Pneumonia? Pneumonia from COVID. Pneumonia. And the cameraman never got it because he must have super immunity or something. He's like Superman. So, okay. Yeah, not a lot of news. COVID, I went to the beach, that was fun. Made my sister-in-law sick, that's not fun. Went to a concert last night, so much fun. Got restrained by a security guard, that was interesting. Got stuck in a traffic jam for over an hour coming out of there. Got stuck in a McDonald's drive-thru because Melissa Fisher, my photographer, had to have McDonald's. So that took like an hour. Starving. She had to have a cheeseburger and French fries, and so we got in that line. We could have and should have, but I don't know Allentown that well, so we were coming out of there and it was already 12:30 after midnight. And she's like, hey, there's a McDonald's, I'm starving. So, oh yeah.
I had a lot of people at the store stopping in after coming from that show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, a few people that I knew, they were like, oh, we just saw that. And I was like, yeah,
cool.
my one friend was there with a press pack.
It was so freaking good. It was amazing.
Yeah, they said they had a great time.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. I'd say 90% of the audience was like early 20-something-year-olds. We were like, wow, it's all 20-something-year-olds. So we loved it. We danced the whole time. Oh my God, they're so good. The lead guitarist, he's amazing. He held his guitar in back of him and he did this 5-minute lead solo behind his head. My gosh, he's so good. And then
I saw Mike McCready from Pearl Jam do that at Bordner for like probably like 20 minutes.
I can't even imagine. How do you even do that? It was amazing.
I think Hendrix did it first, and then he would bring it around and then play with his teeth and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this guy held it back there for at least 5 minutes, and then he played a harmonica. And he'd do like a little riff on the harmonica, and then his twin brother, who's the lead guy, would totally mimic the sound, like with his mouth. It was amazing. The lead guy, holy cow, that kid is amazing. He's barefoot. He wears like a weird costume, and he's got that Robert Plant voice, and lots of fire and stage effects, and like very dramatic. So I know. Well, if morons have fire, we might like catch our hair on fire. I know, because
I think they'll have some fire stored over there, so let's bring that in.
you gonna bring in the fire? Cool, cool.
Oh, here's something. Speaking of morons.
Mm-hmm.
So at work last night, some girl came in super drunk, and she just bought she had a couple things. She puts them on the counter right in front of me, and then she's like fumbling around with like the card thing to like pay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why is she taking so long? So I kind of look over, and she's like pretending like she's fumbling with it. She's trying to steal like a big Kit Kat bar
Oh my God.
right in front of me.
Oh my God.
And she's stuffing this thing into her pocket, and it's not
Jeez.
fitting. So like half of it's sticking out.
Holy cow.
And then she's like my car's not scanning, and I was like, well, I'm not even gonna let you scan it. You know, like, do you really want to go to jail tonight for a Kit Kat?
Holy cow.
And she kind of like froze, like a deer in the headlights, and I was
Wow.
like, yeah, you should probably put that back.
Oh my
And then she
gosh.
put it back, and then like didn't say a word. She finally paid for the
She's
other stuff, and
embarrassed.
then left.
Wow.
But yeah, like
Did she think it was another Steel Saturday day or
I
something?
guess, but it was just like, it was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you know,
Well, that's
I
pretty
would
moronic.
have had more respect for them if they would like try to steal something like,
Something big.
yeah, try to come over here and get some money or something.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I know. A Kit
like, for
Kat bar.
real.
Jeez. That was a big chocolate craving.
Holy moly.
Oh my
And
word.
she was already buying like a whole bunch of junk food. It's like, well,
Jeez.
you know.
What the heck?
Did you tell her that the fire
King?
There's still a lot of people just stealing stuff. What happens is they come in these giant waves of like 20 or 30 kids.
Yeah.
And then like they're all over the store, and then while you're ringing some people up, all of a sudden you'll just see like people just walk out of the store with like hands full of
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Yeah, and like
That's
I try to stop,
crazy.
like hey,
And they just keep walking.
Yep, and
Man.
yeah,
Maybe the cops really should stream directly to their
they really
station.
should, because I'm not chasing after nobody.
Well, yeah.
It's not my
Especially for a Kit Kat bar.
job to.
It's crazy.
No, because you know, we would have to like shut down the store then to
Well,
like.
yeah. So they investigate and all
yeah.
that. Wasn't there like a car theft a while ago at that turkey hole when you were working, or somebody tried to?
No, someone stole a car like around the corner.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That was when I worked there before. Yeah, I was just at work, and somebody came in and was like, "Hey, did you by any chance see someone like come in here with like?" And I forget what kind of car it was, but it was like a rare type of car, and someone stole it right out of the back of his house. It's like
jeez.
like the alley that is parallel to Main Street. But it's like, you know, if you walk out Turkey Hill, it's like you make that. It's hard to explain, but anyway, it's just
Yeah.
like that alley up there, and it was like a couple blocks away. And the guy's like, "Yeah, like I heard like some commotion at back of my garage, and by the time I got out there, someone was like driving my car away."
Jeez, did they ever catch him?
I have no idea. That was the last I
Wow.
ever heard about that.
That's cray cray. Yeah. Well, maybe we could be. Oh, here was something crazy. Last night we get into Allentown, and Melissa and I had never been to that venue, so we didn't know you should buy your parking ahead of time. So we were in this real long line to get in a parking garage, and we were there like 45 minutes, just inching forward. And at one point, a truck came from the other lane and cut right in front of us. And Melissa's like, oh my gosh, that jerk. She's like, watch him get into the garage and then they'll say the garage is full. That happened.
Really?
The guy went in and the cop's like to us, like, stop. And then he brings out lot full. And we're like, no way, the lot's full. That guy got in front of us or we would have been the last car. So then we had to go like another 2 miles all around the block to another parking garage. Well, we drove. We were in the car. And so we finally got a parking garage. And then we walked with all these 20-year-old boys. We were calling them our buddies. Like, we're all like, do you know how to get to the PPL Center? And they're like, no, do you? And we're like, no, but we'll find it. So we all walked and walked and walked. Well, you know what? Well, then we got in there, and then they only had one ticket. And they gave Melissa a photo wristband. But that meant she could only go in front of the stage and film 3 songs, and then she was supposed to like leave or find somewhere to sit. And she's like, that's no fun. I want to sit with you. And I'm like, well, if we can't, we can't. But anyway, long story short, they gave her a ticket and we found 2 seats together. And then she was too chicken to go down and stand in front of the stage anyway. And I was like, you're crazy. Like, I want to go down there. So she took off the wristband and I put it on. And I make my way down through like 80,000 people. I get down there and I'm like, there's no way to get down there anymore because they put these walls up. And I said to this guy in the audience, I'm trying to get down there. And he goes, well, the only way is climb the wall and jump down. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I climbed the wall, I jumped down, and I'm no sooner on the ground than a security guard like rushed at me and restrained me. Like, he probably thought I was a groupie, like jumping the wall to try to get to the stage, and I had this thing on, and I'm like, no, wait, look, I have a photo band. So he's like, go ahead. So I go in front of the stage, and I got my phone out, and I had Melissa's camera on me. And I started filming because I wanted to get a film up close. And another security guard came running at me and he's like, no, no phones, camera only. And by the time I got the camera up, I got like 3 blurry pictures and then they were like making everybody leave who had a photo band. So that was dramatic. I never had a security guard actually restrain me before. He was on it, man. Well, she. I always want to get in front of the stage, and Melissa's scared because she got hurt at a Rage Against the Machine concert when she was 19. These big guys were like banging into each other and she broke her wrist. So now she's all chicken about like being in front of any stage, even if it's just photographers. So I got down there, I got a real close look at that lead singer guy. Man, he's dramatic. I can't even explain him. You saw one video of him, but that guy is amazing. So we said it was all worth it. Parking garage, crowd, and all. It was fun. So anyway, that was my night. Went to bed, 2:45, and now I'm tired and drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Not a sponsor. And then I went to work, and then I came here. So life is exciting. And what else happened at Turkey Hill?
Well, the cops were there, but not for Turkey Hill. The lady that I was working with, apparently, that place, that the lady I was saying that with all the flags,
yeah,
where I guess there was like, she's telling me there's a pretty decent room for rent, but it's like a room and then like you share a bathroom with other people.
That's
So
fun.
yeah, I don't really want to do
Yeah,
that.
that's
But anyway,
always fun.
but apparently some lady that also lives there and her boyfriend had this huge fight, and then there was like damage to someone's car and like all this and that and the other thing. So the cops were there talking to her about that. It wasn't about anything that happened at the store. But that
Wow.
happened. The other thing, I had a big long conversation about somebody because it was actually someone me and Dylan saw earlier in the day. That old man we saw when we went down to CVS. He always comes into the store and then like leafs through like the newspapers, and then we had this long conversation about how like because we get like, what do we get? We get the Reading Eagle every day, we get the Morning Call every day, we get the New York Times, the New York Post, we get Wall Street Journal, and some other thing like IBD Weekly or something like that. And like like last night, I mean, we had like a stack of like 20, 25 of just the Reading Eagle, like the Sunday paper. And then there's a giant stack of like all the other papers, and like whoever goes in tonight is probably gonna throw all of those away.
Really?
And we just had this big long conversation about how like why are they making all these newspapers and dropping them off all over these stores?
Yeah, and they're not even getting recycled.
I think I sold one. There's one older gentleman that comes in every morning, and he gets the New York Post and a cup of coffee, and that's usually the only newspapers I ever sell. And then the next night I go out and just throw them in the cardboard dumpster.
That's so sad.
It's like
Does that
all
man,
that ink and paper.
I know.
And like, you know, like the Reading Eagle is like $3, and it's like
nothing to it
yeah
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually try to read them just mainly just the comments, but I'm a moron, so that's fine. But it's just like how are they paying people to print and use all
they're
this
not
ink
anymore. Like writers, I used to write for newspapers. Nobody is hot. They don't need writers because nobody's buying the newspaper.
and
It's crazy.
I imagine it's like that at every
It is.
place.
It's bad.
They're all just throwing these, you know.
They're just going under,
Yeah.
and eventually they'll totally go away.
Yeah, because I was even having, because I know all the different people that, there's like 3 different people that deliver certain newspapers. And I joked with the one guy. I was saying about how instead of like you coming in here and dropping off the papers, I said, why don't you just pull up to the dumpster and like save me the trip?
I know. That's
Like,
crazy.
Like literally, you could just drive up, dump them in there, and then you know that's one less thing I have to
Yeah,
do.
they throw that free paper in your yard still, and like the Tri-County and the Effort to Review.
Yeah, and-
I pick them up and put them right in the trash can.
I'm still really surprised how hard that hit me.
I know.
Because I hardly ever get sick.
I know, that was
And, like,
bad.
Like, yeah, I think it was just a combination of like, because I was still like, working night shift, being around all those people, like the college was back, handling all that money, not getting the right amount of sleep, and then that I got COVID.
Run down.
And
well, plus
and
stress.
plus,
you've had a lot of stress. So.
yeah, and plus, you know, I've just been a smoker for like almost 30 years.
Yeah, I could hear you wheeze a minute ago.
Well, I was wheezing before I got sick, just from because I smoked for so long, but not that bad. But I think just a combination of all that, it just really
Yeah, you were sick. 10 minutes? Okay, so what shall we talk about? Well, we could talk about, there was a hurricane in Florida, kind of. I was not, but I'm going to be there 2 weeks from today.
There's always hurricanes in Florida.
There is. There better not be one when we're there.
It's like,
It's Hurricane Central.
yeah, it's like almost like Tornado Alley out in
Yeah.
the Midwest.
Well,
'Cause when I lived down there was like a couple of them every year. I remember the one was crazy because the one actually the hurricane didn't hit Florida, but it was a big one that hit like middle of like North and South Carolina.
okay.
But because it was so big, this was crazy because it wasn't like storming in Florida, but you weren't supposed to go to the beach, but we did anyway. And literally, I'd never seen this. This was the only time I've ever seen this happening. The waves weren't coming in; they were going south down the
sideways.
beach.
Like sideways?
Yes.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were going south down the beach so fast too that we got in the water, and by the time we could get back to the beach, we were so far down the beach. Like by the time we walked back to our stuff, half of it was missing. Because,
Really?
Yeah,
It
because
just
either
got
the wind
washed
blown
away?
away or whatever. But like, I mean, we were literally like got in, and within
Yeah.
30 seconds, we were like
Did you try to
a
swim?
mile down the beach.
Were you in boogie boarding or swimming?
No, we were just ran out into it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it was a hurricane.
and it just you couldn't like stay like once you got in, you
It
were
just
immediately
pulled you.
yes. It
Yeah.
was going so fast.
I
I've never
know.
seen anything like
Well,
it.
that's how my rib got broke. I was on a boogie board thinking it was exciting after a hurricane, and
What happened?
what happened?
I need to get some new SD cards. I don't know what's new. I've been recording for 25 minutes and it's finally decided to delete the whole recording.
Oh,
After 25 minutes.
oh, that's a bummer.